Hey, what is up guys, and welcome back. So I just got this in the mail, and it's the X220 V2, first choice for beginners, and it even comes with a FlySky controller. Doesn't this bring back memories, especially if you've been here for quite a while? So this is Eoshin's latest beginner kit, like we used to get back in the day, and we're going to take a closer look at it, see if it's any good, and hopefully take it out flying very soon. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we get in the box and how you expect to possibly receive this. So if we pull this out, what we get is we have a FlySky receiver here. And what's really nice is this is the X version, which is the better version, which is really nice. And this is how you power it on. Obviously batteries, it'll take 4 AA batteries here. So let's put this to the side. All right, so what else do we have here? So they give us a nice lollipop antenna. This is a proper antenna here. So that's a nice step up with even heat shrink around the little tip. So that's really good. Let's put that to the side. We get a 4S 1500 milliamp battery. That's not going to last very long, but should get you up and going. These are probably better than the ones we had back then. And when the first V1 was released, I think it was a 3S, and people were putting 4S and just going crazy. And it was pretty cool. So let's see the propellers. Do they give us a name brand propeller here? Even if they don't, this is going to be decent to get you going for a couple flies. These are Racer Star 5046 blades here. So they're tri-blades, so it's a 5-inch. And let's go ahead and move down. We also get some stickers, not that that matters that much. They also provide us with a charger here, which is really good. And it's a balance type charger, so this will take ages to actually charge. But again, it'll get you going. Some of these, which they're really never really that useful, even if you do actually forget your tools. These are just some wrenches, but yeah, I don't really recommend them. We get our prop nuts here. We also get an adapter for the charge. Now this is nice. This is for a GoPro here. Let's see, where's my GoPro? So I just brought a GoPro. I have a GoPro Hero 8 Black. And let's see if this will actually fit. No, this seems like it'd probably be for a 7 or a 6 here. So yeah, this is not going to fit your GoPro Hero Black. But what I usually tend to do with stuff like this, because I get a lot of them that are not meant for the GoPro Hero 8 Black, is I would cut the top off completely. And then I'll just have a really long battery strap under here when I place this in. And then I'll be able to wrap it around, but just have the GoPro hanging to the side slightly. So yeah, they provide you with this, which is really nice actually. Usually they don't do this kind of stuff. Here are some pads, so if you want to put it under your quadcopter, you can. Now let's take a look at the quadcopter. All right, so let's see the quadcopter. So for camera, currently, what we have is a Fox here, and which one is this to be exact? So for camera, we're running a Fox here. So it is a name brand, and this is a micro. Probably some of their older ones are the ones that are basically in stock, and they just wanted to get rid of. And yeah, they got them for pretty cheap, so that's really nice. The mounting also is pretty great on the camera, so you'll be able to tilt it as far as you want and still not have it stick out that much from the edge. As you can tell, this is a really high angle here, and especially if you're a beginner, you'll probably more likely be flying less than that. Now I just did find a problem. You cannot lower this more than this right here, so that is a huge problem. You might have to make some holes down here for the camera, and that's something they didn't look into properly, so that's something to keep in mind. So you're going to be flying at a, I don't want to say pretty aggressive tilt, but for a beginner it could be pretty aggressive, especially if you just learned how to fly acro. Now, the frame has been completely redesigned, as I can tell. The arms are much thicker, as far as I remember, and it is pretty rigid, so that's really good. Now, I do see a lot of refinements. Actually, this doesn't even look like the old X220 here, except the shape slightly. Because even if we look at the upper plates, they're actually detachable. So you have this part here if you wanted to do some stuff, and you could detach the whole back piece. So we have 2 parts. We have this part right here, and we also have that part if you wanted to remove it. Now, if we grab a closer look on the inside as well, what we see is we do have a FlySky receiver here. So hopefully it's bound. We're going to double check if it is, and if it's not, probably see how to set that up as well. Now, also, I'm a really big fan of the 3D printed parts, which is really nice, especially on the bottom here. This is really great. Along with these motor protectors, especially for a beginner, these could somewhat help you with the overall durability. But I could already see that these plastic pieces are playing around. So you might want to tighten that a bit more. Now be careful when tightening it, because you do not want to start stripping the motor's stator down there. And that could be pretty bad. So just be careful. But the plastic probably just has slightly bigger holes here. I'll double check. Yeah, just the plastic seems to have bigger holes. That could introduce some vibrations, but time will tell. Also, another thing to take into consideration whenever you purchase a pre-built quadcopter, go over every single screw, because the employees don't tighten these all the way, and those could actually break your quadcopter if a motor flies off in the middle of flight, or after 20 flights it's been getting loose and you haven't noticed it. That could be pretty bad, so just keep that in mind as well. Now for the ESC, which is I don't want to say interesting because it's really not interesting. This is a pretty old ass ESC here. Not that an old ass ESC is not any good. Recent ESCs are much better. And why is that? These barely have any filtration on them. That's one thing. And if we look on the inside, which is kind of a letdown, I would say, in my opinion, there is no low ESR capacitor. So as you can tell, there's nothing installed here. So if we look inside, again, we don't have the low ESR capacitor. We do have a power distribution board. When was the last time you saw one of these guys in a quadcopter? And it's also been quite some time since I've seen a power distribution board. Let me know when was the last time you saw one. For flight controller, they're using a pretty decent one as far as I believe, but again, time will tell. And from the design of the holes on the flight controller, it seemed like it took actually some rubber grommets, but they actually didn't do that, but they used those rubber grommet standoffs on the bottom right here, which could be kind of good. Again, we'll just have to wait until we take it out flying here. But they have done quite a lot of improvements over their previous generation, the first generation to be exact. And it's really nice to see. We even have a USB Type-C for the flight controller here. Video transmitter should be pretty decent, but never power this on without putting your antenna, or you could fry your video transmitter and or lose a lot of range. So just make sure you keep that in mind. However, the bottom plate, or we could say the upper bottom plate, because we have two. We have one here and this one here. This one is one piece. This one obviously is one piece, and the arms are separated, which is really nice, especially if you break an arm. Then you could easily go and purchase another one. And more than likely, you'll always find arms for the Eachine products, which is really great. Usually, they just keep them for ages. Now, if we take a look at the motor here, it's not hollow shaft. Not that it matters because, again, this is sold as a beginner drone. But this is a really great platform to learn and come from, because if an ESC fries, you're going to have to learn how to change it, or you might just go remove them all and actually make your own stack, like getting a new T-motor stack that's complete with a 4-in-1 ESC, and set that up and you're good to go, and you even take less space. No, I don't think you'll take much less space, because anyways, the 4-in-1 ESC would sit here, and then you have the flight control, and you still have the video transmitter here. So overall, it's really nice what they've done here, but I have no idea how much this thing is actually going for, especially with the remote control here, which could be very, very useful for a lot of people. Now, as it stands for the amount of things, this is kind of the typical setup we used to get back in the day. Now, for the motors here, by the way, I forgot to mention, these are slightly different from the original. These are using 2207 2550 kV motors. So it's going to be a pretty quick one, and I don't think this battery will be able to withstand, especially with the high pitch on the propellers, to give you your full speed actually. So you might want to pick up some better batteries, maybe some China hobby lines, which are called CNHL. Tattoo batteries are good, but for me, most of them died within half a year. I mean, and I barely use them that much, so which is kind of a shame. I don't know why tattoo batteries just die so much quicker. The China hobby lines have lasted me for ages now, which is really nice. So I'll be preparing this guy along with the recent build we did on the channel, take them out flying, see how well they perform. I also do got a couple more quadcopters which will be coming out throughout the week here. And we'll also do a setting up process if there is, if you guys actually want to see that, we can go ahead and do that here. And for the setup procedure, I think we'll do that with the complete review. But right now, I just wanted to show you guys what you could expect in the package currently. It seems nice. I like the frame because it gives you a lot of flexibility to do other things to it. It has quite a lot of space here. It is, again, pretty heavy, but that could be a good thing and or a bad thing depending on what you're looking for here. But as a starting out quadcopter, this should get you going pretty decently. And well, that's currently it. I'll have it linked down below. If I'm able to get a coupon or two, I'll have those also down below. And let me know what you guys think. Do you guys want to see the setup guide of how to set this up along with the review, or just the review itself? So yeah, stay tuned, and we'll come back and check this out later. Peace out, guys.